Hi, it's Don Southerton and the weekly episode of Everything Korea. This week, a special edition. The topic, Trump and South Korea trade. Let's go ahead and get started. It wouldn't be fitting without sharing my thoughts on the recent U.S. presidential election and the potential impact on U.S.-Korea global business. Now, to many in Korea, the election results have been troubling. Another layer of stress and concern amid a downturn in Korean exports. Now, trade agreements, the U.S. military support for South Korea, and dealing with North Korea top the list. On the trade agreement front, I was a strong supporter of KORUS FTA, both prior to the ratification and contributing a number of high-profile articles on the benefits of the treaty. I've embedded some of those articles from 2012, 2013, and 2014. More so, I've continued to refer to the KORUS FTA in news articles and interviews and speaking engagements. Now, my clients, Hyundai Motor America, Kia Motor America, as well as Mobis Parts America, benefit from the treaty. Although I'm told that up to 60% of the two OEMs' finished products sold in America are made in the U.S. plants. Now, some engines and a number of Tier 1, 2, and 3 components are still imported, but much less than when the plants were established. So, little impact that will have from, any change in the treaty. Frankly, I'm more concerned with trade agreements with Mexico. Korean groups, Hyundai, Samsung, and LG operate plants across Mexico for both local demand and for export to America. Now, as an example, there is a new Kia plant many of you are very well aware of. It opened earlier in 2006 with plans to supply up to 80% of the capacity for export outside Mexico. Now, a heavy trade tariff on Mexican goods exported into the U.S. would be troubling not only Kia, but a growing number of wave of their Tier 2, 1, 2, and 3 providers who have also established, in Mexico. Now, on a side note, opening a plant in Mexico for an OEM was not only about labor costs and savings, but eliminates a heavy tariff Mexico puts on vehicles that are imported into Mexico. So, it eliminates that tariff on vehicles for brands that wish to import into Mexico. And in prior, Hyundai and Kia weren't doing that. Now, in addition, and less known, for example, is our entities, let's say within the Hyundai Motor Group affiliate, Hyundai Translead, who I've supported. First developed under the Macaradero program, trailers made in Mexico, a Mexican plant, are currently sold in the U.S. So someday, if you're driving down a U.S. highway and you see a Walmart trailer, and you can see a Hyundai logo on the back of it. I've also embedded a little site of that. It's a huge facility, several thousand employees just over the border producing these vehicles and benefiting from coming over. Now, as for Samsung Electronics, since the 1980s, with the construction of the electronics complex Samex in Tijuana, where TVs, color monitors, and mobile phones are currently produced, they also produce a lot for, of course, local consumption, and they've established entities that build refrigerators and air conditioners. They also have local production for side-by-side refrigerators, front-loading washing machines, and other appliances. So it could have a huge impact on an entity like that. All said, Detroit's big three automakers, GM, Ford, and Chrysler, all have production facilities in Mexico. So, something people haven't been considering as much when this is that if a heavy tariff was placed on Mexican goods coming in there, whether they were Korean companies or even the big three, it would have a huge impact on them too. In addition, and completely off the side, back to KORUS FTA, GM Korea plants currently produce cars that are brought into the U.S. market tariff-free. So it would affect, these American manufacturers greatly also. So, currently there are more questions than answers. I'll be revisiting the impact of the elections as they unfold over time. So stay tuned. Oh, one more thing regarding North Korea. I see that President-elect Trump's unpredictability and aggressive way of thinking may have Pyeongchang more cautious about its military provocations. So that's something that we should also be watching as we move forward. Until next time, this is Don Southerton wishing you all the best. Take care.